Hello and welcome to BrightHost, a channel where I undeniably just upload random videos, and I'm under contract with another YouTuber on here, Joe Radical. But yeah, back to what the actual video is about. Could Natsu achieve Super Saiyan Blue, or could he at least get God Ki? Well, let's get into the details. Now, before you get into the details, or before I get into the details, let me give you a brief description on what these shows are. Natsu is from Fairy Tail, Goku is from Dragon Ball. If you don't know what Dragon Ball is, get out of the rock you're living in. And even if you're living under a rock, come on, you could have at least heard of Beerus coming to destroy your planet. Anyways, let's go back to it. As for Fairy Tail is a story about a boy named Natsu. I don't want to give any spoilers so you can actually watch the show. But yeah, this guy, he uses Fire Dragon Slayer magic, which is the property to give you dragon lungs, dragon claws, dragon breath, dragon stomach, to eat flames, and so on. So he's able to eat certain properties of energy. Fairy Tail, don't get me wrong, is a fairy tale. So it actually talks about a fairy tale. It has always good endings. It's never a tragedy or never anything. So don't be looking towards it and say, well, why is she always surviving? Well, it's a fairy tale ending. There are no tragedies. Although arguably some people do die, but it's gonna have a good ending no matter what. It is a fairy tale. Now let's get back to it. Now, could Natsu actually achieve God Ki like the way Goku does? Maybe not the way Goku does, but similarly. Let's get right to it. Now, before I actually explain to you how he would do it, or how, if possible, could he achieve it, let me explain what Ki really is. Now, Ki is portrayed as different things. If you've been watching anime, it comes in different properties such as Nen from Hunter x Hunter, Chakra from Naruto, Haki from One Piece, and Magoi from Magi, and so on. So in an essence, all these different shows portray their own versions of Ki differently. But there is one thing that stays the same. One thing that they state that has been there in all of these respective shows. Life essence. Now you may say that they don't all have the same portrayal of life essence, but they are pretty similar. Nen from Hunter x Hunter says that it's an energy that everyone has, but only a few are able to control it, and there are different categories of it. Haki from One Piece states that everyone has this energy, it's a life force, but only a few are able to tap it, and only a few are able to use the Conqueror's Haki. Whereas Chakra in Naruto is, well, everywhere. So here's how it goes. Now, they all have the same perspective as every human being or every living life force has it, and if they do, they are able to get higher and stronger. But I doubt Natsu could go Super Saiyan. Why? Let me get to it. The term Super Saiyan derived from a super version of a Saiyan. Saiyans are these warrior race of people from planet Vegeta who happen to have, well, like I said, there happen to be warriors. And there is this genetic code written in them where if they're fueled by huge amounts of emotion, they're able to tap into their inner energy and achieve Super Saiyan. Now, this could be done by rage, or if you're second generation Super Saiyan, you could easily do it out of instinct, like the way Goten did. Gohan had to struggle for it, apparently. That's a whole nother theory I have for another video. Anyways, getting back to the video. So for them to be able to utilize the concept of Ki, let me explain how magic is portrayed in Fairy Tail. Now, magic is all around and everywhere in the universe of Fairy Tail, but only a few people use it, and these few people get together in groups called guilds. Fairy Tail is the main guild. Now, Fairy Tail is no different with magic, being their primary source of power, and like energy, Natsu and his crew already utilize Ki, or at least their interpretation of it. But that doesn't mean that he'll be able to turn Super Saiyan Blue. And like I said, you already know what Super Saiyans are. And Super Saiyans, or any other versions of Ki in the Dragon Ball universe, are able to send their energy towards certain things, like the Spirit Bomb, for example. When Goku is doing the Spirit Bomb, he transfers all his energy and then the energy around him, surrounded by asking them, into the ball. And that also explains how you see Trunks going Super Saiyan Fury and cutting Zamasu in half, because that sword was actually imbued with energy from both Goku and Vegeta in their respective Super Saiyan Blue states. Now there's where my theory comes in. But what are the properties of that energy exactly? What are the properties of that said energy? It'll have to have at least some kind of protons for it to emit light of some sort, right? And also it'll have to have some kind of heat radiating from it. Now don't get me wrong, Natsu is immune to some versions of heat, but this is not why I have him here. Now, it's also, maybe it might have some kind of radiation, considering that it's coming from your body. I'm not sure. That's just my theory. In other words, almost pure energy. You could argue that Natsu does not eat pure energy because it's not fire, so this whole video just get debunked, and there is really no reason for it, right? Well, you're wrong. That's where I come in to handle. Now, Natsu was able to eat ether nano or ethereus. I'm pretty sure it's called ether nano. This is a form of solid energy that's not exactly good for his body, but he was able to eat it and use this condensing property to unlock Dragon Force. Now we could also see this similarly done when he's trying to eat the lightning from Loxus. Now lightning have almost very different similar properties to fire. Lightning is more of a pure energy proton, while fire is just, well, fire, plasma. Yeah, it should be plasma. Now he was able to eat lightning, but of course this was because it was given to him. If he was shocked by lightning, I doubt he'll be able to eat that. That is just too OP, right? And yes, he's able to eat that. So I guess he might be able to eat some kind of energy that's not fire, right? But would he be able to eat at least some kind of god essence? Now there's a similar version of god magic in Fairy Tail, which is called god slayers. Now respectively, these guys are very weak. They're nothing compared to the gods in the Dragon Ball universe.
Let's flick my wrist.
Yeah! Look at that wrist. Look at that wrist. Look at the flick of that wrist. Look at the flick of that wrist.
What the god flames do is basically they're black flames. They're not hellfire flames, they're actually black flames. They're called god flames. And Natsu was not actually able to eat these flames because they were too much or too powerful. He had to empty his resources of magic just to imbue that in, and then use that to charge up his own, which is very different than what you would expect from Natsu. I mean, he's the main character, he's supposed to have plot armor. I don't know what Hiro Mishima was doing with this one. Now, would Natsu be able to eat the spirit bomb? Maybe, since he's actually able to eat the lightning from Natsu. Well, since he's actually able to eat the lightning from Loxus, you could argue that he could eat the spirit bomb. So protons, check. Pure energy, check. Now, is he pure enough? That's where we get into the technicalities. Natsu, spoiler alert, is actually END, Ethereus Natsu Dragneel, an artificial demon made by Zeref Dragneel. Zeref Dragneel made Natsu because his brother died, the original Natsu. So now this version of Natsu has a demon inside him, or is a demon but unaware of it. Now, would that mean that he's not pure of heart, so he will not be able to eat the spirit bomb since it will burn him out and destroy him? Yes. But wait. Let's go back a little. Let's screw back a little time and see how exactly END gets formed. All of the demons in the book of Zeref's Shelf are basically genetically imbued to try to kill him. He made these demons to try to kill him. In Fairy Tail, the god Ankazarum decided to curse him with the form of curse that allows everybody he loves to die around him. Now the only people immune to it, or almost kind of immune to it, are the demons, and they're the ones who were created by Zeref, so they will be able to kill him. Now Zeref actually really wants to die, but it's kind of weird. Okay, so here's how it goes. END is the strongest demon in all of Zeref's creation, and he is meant to kill Zeref. Agnologeus was scared of him, and believe me, Agnologeus is a beast for no reason. So here's how it goes. END is genetically programmed to kill Zeref. When Natsu was turned into END, he was almost mind controlled into killing Zeref. Now that's where everything gets changed. Mind controlled. Now, if you're genetically written to do something, does that necessarily make you bad? Not exactly, at least not in my terms. If, let's say, you were brainwashed into trying to eat rice or eat cereal, it doesn't necessarily make you a bad person. It depends on how you eat the cereal. If you eat it by killing someone and then eating the cereal, yes, you're a bad person. But Natsu, deep down at his core, isn't a bad person. He's been shown several times to have pure of heart and to really care about his comrades. That's the whole point of Fairy Tail. And so yeah, then I guess you could also say that END is brainwashed, so he's not necessarily evil, more as he has a task that he has to accomplish no matter what. But Natsu tries to not be evil. So you could also consider this being Vegeta. Yes, Vegeta could get killed by the Spirit Bomb since he isn't too pure of heart. But Natsu is actually pure of heart in personality wise, while the persona of END isn't pure of heart, or more or less is more chaotic neutral, doesn't exactly care about what happens, just wants to get rid of Zeref. So you could say that he won't exactly necessarily be affected by the purity properties of the Spirit Bomb. Now, could he eat it? If he was strong enough. Of course, the power levels in Dragon Ball and in Fairy Tail are two different things, so Natsu will have to progressively get stronger, and I think with a little training and with a little help, he will be able to suck in the Spirit Bomb and at least achieve God Key. Now we'll have a Super Dragon God Slayer Demon? I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure how they're gonna title it, but that's just my theory, a manga theory. Now tell me what you guys like about this video. This is just a little series I'm gonna be doing about nerd science, where I put in my own theories or my own scientific mathematical suggestions on how different mangas or different animes or different comics, anything nerd related, and how to actually proceed. Now tell me if you like this new series I'm doing. Like below, comment below, and go ahead and say your own theories on Fairy Tail. Tell me if you agree with my theory, and I'll see you guys later. Stay classy.